What is going on, everyone? We got some brand new lore developments going on with patch 12.03. We have a new voicemail from Viper, a new email from Killjoy, and if you remember in the previous patch, Cypher and Fade successfully planted an audio bug by posing as a fake Atlas member and sending Omega Viper some nonsense files which contained the bug. In this patch, the bug proved to be successful and we're able to hear Omega Viper basically giving the Valorant Legion a speech on the current events going on, with her taking over from Brimstone. I'll start off with that audio clip first, as it is the longest, and although it doesn't contain any new lore or major progression on the surface, it does give us a peek into Omega Viper's mind and hear what she's thinking and what her reasons are for everything that she's done.
All of you listen up. You want clarity? Here it is. Brimstone is out. I am in command. I understand this makes some of you uncomfortable. You're fond of the old man. But before you scream betrayal, answer me this. What is our purpose? Legion, why are we here? To be soldiers? Symbols? No. Our purpose is to end the Alpha threat, not fight them, end them. Alpha Earth is killing us. And what have we, the beloved and celebrated Valorant Legion, done about it? Nothing. Less than nothing. Our spike extractions have plummeted. We were miles ahead technologically. Now those misprints invade our world. We've grown so incompetent, even Atlas tries to do our job. You think this is about loyalty to Brimstone? No. This is about doing what is necessary. Sova sees what I see. You doubt my intentions, do you doubt his? And Yoru and Breach? Have you all forgotten Sage soaking in a chem bath right now just to keep herself alive? We are done shedding tears for a leader who could not do his job. We are done doing things his way. No more rules, no more fighting fair. The only thing that matters is finishing this. We will cross the line, pursue their pain, and break them by any means necessary. You have your orders.
Okay, so this audio message that Alpha Cypher was able to get is probably a frightening one for the Valorant Protocol. It looks like Omega Viper really has had enough, to the point where she completely cut off their own leader and took over. The only positive thing in this message is that there does seem to be a bit of a disconnect in the Valorant Legion right now, where some agents don't agree or side with Omega Viper and her betrayal to Omega Brimstone. Hence why she is giving this speech to begin with. The scary part is the ending. Omega Viper mentions no more rules, no more fighting fair, we're going to cross the line and break them by any means necessary. It looks like Omega Brimstone had laid out some sort of foundation of rules that the Valorant Legion are supposed to follow. I believe that the rules Omega Viper are referring to are the ones that prohibit the Valorant Legion from attacking Alpha Earth for any personal reason or any reason outside of the goal of extracting Radianite or any other means of helping their own situation on their planet. Omega Viper recently broke this rule by entering Alpha Earth with Breach, Sova, and Yoru, and attacking the Valorant Protocol agents for pretty much no apparent purpose other than to hurt them and to strike fear. There was no real reason to do that. They didn't steal any Radianite or technology. It was mostly just a personal revenge plot, and although it worked and the message was sent, this was something that Omega Brimstone was probably strongly against. And now Omega Viper is making it clear that these rules no longer exist, and they're going to keep crossing whatever lines that were previously drawn in order to break the Valorant Protocol. Pretty dark stuff, and it's good that Alpha Cypher was able to get this information, because it tells the Valorant Protocol that they need to be extra alert and prepared basically at all times, because these attacks from Alpha Earth are no longer isolated to just stealing Radianite, but it can also be aimed towards them. And I'm not sure how far Omega Viper is willing to go to break them, but maybe the Valorant Protocol should even fear for their families and loved ones, because if Omega Viper's goal is to go after their pain and break them, what better way to do that than to go after those that they love? A good example is how they recently took down Alpha Rays and we saw Killjoy broken down over it. So overall, things are getting pretty tense and the Valorant Protocol need to stay alert. There is also one thing that I want to bring up, which is what exactly happened to Omega Brimstone. Now that he lost control and got kicked out basically, what is he doing? It's possible that he's plotting a revenge plan to go back against Omega Viper and regain control. How he does this, I'm not sure, but there are two possibilities that I can think of. One possibility is that he reaches out to some of his contacts in the Valorant Legion who are still loyal to him, and they leave Omega Viper and go form a second group of agents. The second possibility, which is a bit crazy, is that Omega Brimstone reaches out to Alpha Earth and tries to get help that way. This would be a really pivotal moment in Valorant's lore where the ex-leader of the Valorant Legion, Omega Brimstone, seeks help from the Valorant Protocol in exchange for a future peace between the worlds. Omega Brimstone could even rejoin the Valorant Legion under Omega Viper's command as a Trojan horse for the Valorant Protocol and take it down internally. And there is of course the possibility that Brimstone just accepts his fate and either retires completely or just goes back to the Valorant Legion with Omega Viper under command and allows her to do whatever she wants. But my favorite theory is that Omega Brimstone is going to get help from Alpha Earth, and I do have a little bit of evidence that this could happen. And it comes from the email from Alpha Killjoy to Alpha Brimstone titled Checking In. You okay, Brim? I'm sure it's not easy hearing what Omega Viper is pulling on your counterpart. And yes, I'm well aware he's still the enemy. But betrayal is a terrible thing, even over there. Honestly, this whole thing makes me sick to my stomach. Anyways, this was supposed to be about you. So, coffee tomorrow morning? Alpha Killjoy checks in on Brimstone and mentions how it's not easy hearing what's been going on Omega Earth, particularly with Omega Brimstone, even though he is the enemy. There is a touch of pity with Killjoy here for Omega Brimstone, and I think that it's possible that some other agents may feel the same way as well. So if Omega Brimstone does reach out to the Valorant Protocol, I think there is a chance that they will help him so long as it doesn't bring any harm to Alpha Earth, and it ends with a promise of peace in the future. I also want to note that Killjoy's main concerns here are Brimstone's well-being and the betrayal going on Omega Earth, so this means that Alpha Raze is probably healed and back up again. And with everything going on with Omega Viper and Brimstone, Alpha Brimstone had started doubting his own team and even asked Alpha Viper if she is plotting to overthrow him as well. Apparently, Alpha Viper had dodged his question, but now we do get a response in the form of a voicemail.
Liam, your question earlier. The one I dodged. You deserve an answer. Of course I've thought about it. You're an idiot sometimes. That bleeding heart of yours is going to get more than just you killed. At some point, you'll stand in the way of a needed sacrifice, and I will act. But despite the appearance of present circumstances, it's not today. There's no plot to overthrow you, old friend. You have nothing to fear from me.
I kind of laughed when I first heard this. There's like this tone in Viper's voice where it's like, yeah, no shit, I want to take over, just not now. And calling him an idiot and everything after he was just killed by the other Viper and brought back to life is just comedic. Anyways, I think Viper does a bad job of putting Brimstone's worries to rest. She does confirm that she's thought of taking over before and also mentions that if there does come a time where he's standing in the way of a needed sacrifice, she will step forward and act. So it's more of a no, I'm not plotting to overthrow you right now, but if you do continue to be an idiot down the road, then maybe situation right now with Alpha Viper. That is all that we have with the lore updates for now. We do have some new voice lines added to the game as well, which I will put up shortly just for your reference. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below on Omega Viper's speech to the Valorant Legion, and what you guys think is going to happen to Omega Brimstone. Make sure you are subscribed so you don't miss out on future lore and update videos, and as always, thanks for watching and I'll see you all in the next one.